Hello and welcome to my video. I'm Elizabeth from Elizabeth's Oracle, and today we are talking about the sun moving through the mutable earth sign of Virgo. We got so much going on while the sun transits Virgo, including a Mercury retrograde, two eclipses, our final Saturn square to Neptune, and Jupiter and Venus. We're not going to leave Venus out, moving into Libra. So I'm going to talk about all of that in this video. Here are the start times for each section so you can get right to what's important to you. But I do want to just really quickly say this is not a sun sign forecast. There are lots of amazing people here on YouTube who do that. I've put some links in the description box. So if you would like to, if you're a Scorpio and you want to know what's going on for me being a Scorpio, go ahead and check out a lot of other YouTubers here who do strictly sun sign forecasts. What I do is a general overview each time that the sun changes signs, and I talk about the significant combinations, or there's tons of stuff going on, but I try to whittle it down to the ones that are outstanding, ones we should all be paying attention to, and it's sort of, affect us all, or are in the ethers at the time in terms of our collective energy. So that's what I talk about. Welcome if it's your first time watching, and welcome back if you are a regular subscriber or newsletter subscriber. Thank you so much for tuning in, and let's get organized. See, I'm back in my office. Alright, so I was going to call this video a tale of 5 charts because there are some significant dates there. I'm going to first just run through the charts, then I'm going to talk about what I kind of think is the bigger theme going on behind it. But like Virgo, I want to get all the facts straight first, okay? So let's bring up the first chart, which is when the sun moves into Virgo. Look at all the planets. I've highlighted them there in green in Virgo. This is a massive Virgo stellium. Yeah. Including Venus and Jupiter, their last bit of energy here under the sign of Virgo. But you'll also see in the purple, I've highlighted the other planets that are in mutable signs. So we're just going to have a lot of mutable. Pay attention to that. It's the theme, really, of it's underscoring everything that's going on during this cycle. So next chart, big date, drum roll, I feel like I'm a drummer. The solar eclipse on the 1st of September. You'll see that Venus just moved on into Libra, but we still have that massive amount of Virgo energy in effect. That is the date of that eclipse, so that means it's a new moon. Solar eclipse means new moon, so it's a time for setting intentions regarding Virgo. Again, I'll talk about the meaning in a minute. But next chart, this is the granddaddy. The day before, Jupiter moves on into Libra, and that's big, but we're going to be giving that a lot of coverage in the months to come, specifically next month when the sun moves into Libra. And there are lots of videos out here on YouTube about Jupiter's transit of Libra, so I'm not even going to try to tackle that, because this to me is the big thing that's happening around the 9th, 10th, although we're not going to underestimate Jupiter, but it's this Saturn square to Neptune. This is the third one of these 3. It ends this massive series of mutable squares that we've been having for like the last year and a half. This one also bookends that summer energy, that solstice energy, the one on the 17th of June, 6 days before Brexit. Huge. I'll explain more as we go along. Let me get through my 5 charts and then we'll talk. So next thing is the 16th of September. So as you see this progression, we now have Venus and Jupiter out of the Virgo thing, and some of the energy of Virgo, minimizing, because it's a full moon. They're in Pisces in opposition to the sun. That's a full moon. And of course the eclipse energy. all of that being squared by Saturn and Mars and Sag, as we've talked about in a lot of videos. So again, one thing that you'll see throughout this whole Sun through Virgo cycle, we started there on August 22nd. We're already at September 16th in this chart. T-square has not let up. Every one of those charts, you see those planets in mutable signs either making oppositions between Virgo and Pisces or making squares with Saturn and Mars and Sagittarius. Our oppositions are a tension. They're along a same polarity, so it's a continuum, and we find it, but opposition is opposition. And of course, the square, forget it. I mean, that's, those are not agreeable or agreeing energies at all. So, something's got to give. So that big one from the 10th, even though it became exact on the 10th, will be still in effect. Again, those two were exact on the 17th of June. I told you they'd ease off a little bit, but start to build again, and this is that point. So it's also going to take a few weeks for that energy to disperse after they've made their exact thing. And then you add this eclipse energy that you see here. It's gonna be a strong bunch of energy. I'd say from September 10th through 18th. I have a number of reasons for feeling that way or getting that intuition about it, but that would be my prediction for a hot spot this cycle. And I just want to do the last chart here before I go into the details, because Virgo likes details. So the last chart here is for September 22nd, and this is just, you can see it's the minute that the sun has moved into Libra. So the sun cycle again, going through Virgo, it then moves into Libra, but as if the signature, as if, the universe just wanted to underscore this beautiful business. Look at where the moon is. Right there in Gemini. And so we have this grand mutable cross. So you can see every mutable sign, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and finally Pisces, are all occupied by planets. So that, again, this cycle, the mutability, the tensions they are in cannot be underestimated. So that's what's moving around. The other things to highlight, and I covered the charts of those eclipses, and I mentioned Venus and Jupiter changing signs. Other massive thing, of course, is the Mercury retrograde in Virgo. So let's first talk about my interpretation of this overall Virgo energy. Then we'll kind of close it out with the review thing, because I feel like the review thing then helps you understand how to integrate this energy. Okay? All right, so again, we start out this cycle with such a huge confluence of planets in Virgo, and as you can see, it carries through until the solar eclipse. And so I want to talk about what does Virgo mean? What is the essence, and what might we all be moving through? One of the energies in Virgo right now is the North Node, which talks about our collective purpose, moving towards the future we want to create. And of course, it's opposite of the South Node, which represents our skill set. What did we come in with? That's right next to Neptune, which is this bastion of creative energy. And Virgo asks us to focus it. So it's not just, going on the Harry Potter bender or the YouTube channel surfing endlessly, although that is so much fun. Oh my God, the hours go by. Virgo says, what are you doing with that? Okay, put a limit on it, put a lid on it. Delve into the fantasy, into the, nebulous stuff, but come back and put it into form. And I've often used this analogy that Pisces is the water, Neptune is the water at home in Pisces, and Virgo is the vessel. It's the container we put it into. Virgo also rules our daily routines, service, and health. And again, this is kind of new agey part for me because I say, well, what's my guidance this month, and what am I being asked to share? And I definitely came across a ton of information about health and healing during the last month. There are some more links in the description box for you guys, and I feel like this is the biggest message about all this Virgo energy, because in addition to the mutable qualities, it is an earth sign, so it's talking about us being here in this physical form. We got squares against Saturn, bone structure, all of that, but to be connecting there with the strongest Jupiter energy and final strongest Venus energy in Virgo. The Jupiter thing won't be here for another 12 years, so we're like connecting with the North Node, purpose, health, and healing. And one of the pieces of information that came across was remembering Lisa Rankin's work about essentially we cannot be in fight or flight and creativity at the same time. Two very different systems get set off, two very different sets of chemicals. If we stay in the fear place and are not being productive with all this Virgo energy, it just sort of goes nowhere, it just diffuses. So this Virgo energy and directing ourselves towards being as healthy as possible, cleaning out ourselves, cleaning up our planet, all of these Virgoan themes, and bringing all that into our daily routines. And the word I kept hearing is habits. What are our habits? Because collectively, that's what, sort of ends up being the manifestation. So we cannot have the fear thing going on at the same time as the creative thing going on. So it's so important to take care of ourselves, to be in good energy states, both physically, the earth element here, and mentally, Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is retrograde during this cycle. That's what we're doing. We're revising, we're bringing ourselves back into our natural state of health and healing. So whatever modalities, and if there's, you're not having any health issues or challenges, it's a great time to be exploring holistic work, and more, just in general, they're saying healing modalities, like being that channel for healing for others. And so the health piece is really the thing that I've been guided to share and put into this video. I've put some links to some stuff I ran across in the last month that is like amazing when we think about how creative we are, again, drawing on the Neptune element, bringing it into the form, into Virgo, into being, into this reality, and how multidimensional and powerful we really are. But we have to be healthy mentally and physically in order to do that. So that's kind of what I see the Virgo energy helping us do: organize, plan, revisit things. And I want to get onto the retrograde thing, so let me. All right, so all this retrograde stuff. Normally, the retrogrades, the Mercury retrogrades, you guys know I don't really make a big fuss about, because, it goes retrograde 3 to 4 times a year. This year we get 4, next year we get 4. It's, not that big of a deal. Although I still don't buy my technology when that's happening. Anyways, the thing that I want you to notice in any of the charts that I'm showing you is that the big three, the outer three, that's our outer planets are Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto. All 3 of those are also retrograde right now, which to me is this underlying harmonic. I'm musical, so I think of like if you played a tone and then the other tones went out on top of it, they resonate with that. And so these are the big 3. These are the outer planets. So there's this big review element. Then you throw our friendly eclipses in. And I completely expect some big reveals. Not even, don't bring up politics I just don't even want to get in the middle of all the fights everybody's having about them. But I would, if anything's going to emerge at this time, be they tax worms of one candidate or unsavory things in the past of another, or a third candidate is going to get into the debates, this is when it's going to happen. This month of September, I'll leave it open not just to the Virgo cycle, but the whole month of September, because we have such a big reveal energy happening right now between the big three, the ones that impact the collective consciousness, being retrograde, Mercury information doing its thing, pulling its weight. Remember, the Panama Papers came out during the Taurus cycle, the last time that Mercury was retrograde. Then you add the element of the eclipses, which always reveal things, and wow, you know, big opportunity for some big reveals. And here's a postcard for the Mercury one so you can see the shadow time and all that if you're a little like me. We can all wait till October to buy our technology. Don't judge. Don't be Virgo judgmental. It's just what I do. So those are really the highlights of this cycle. It's Virgo. It's going to be in the middle of those massive squares. So again, such an emphasis on change, on release, on detoxification, and anything that we need to pull up from the past that needs that revision and needs redirecting. This is a great cycle for that. And that Mercury retrograde, just the way it's working out this time, a little cosmic signature, it goes direct on the 22nd of September, just a few hours before the sun changes signs and moves into Libra. So I just, those are the things that I'm noticing about this time. So I'm Elizabeth from Elizabeth's Oracle. Thank you so much for watching. I have a monthly newsletter. It'd be great to have you sign up, but if you want to just subscribe here, that'll be cool too. I will tell you though, the newsletter has exclusive specials, and it also has an Oracle message that I do every month that is exclusive to the newsletter community, because I just appreciate them signing up. So if you'd like to become one of them, I would appreciate it. And I'm also totally respectful of people's email. I treat everybody like I want to be treated when I join a list. So that's there. There's my YouTube special. 5 free minutes if you are a new customer. Okay, so while the sun is in Virgo for 2016, I'll even add a natal chart and natal report if you do the YouTube special. So that's just while the sun is in Virgo this year. If you happen to watch this video then and want to come get a reading, you'll get 5 free minutes with your order, a customized personal natal chart, and a report which explains what the heck all that stuff is, all those funny glyphs and numbers. So that'll be the little September special here while the sun is in Virgo. And last but certainly not least, I want another drum roll. I get to hang out with my friend Kristy on her show on Blog Talk Radio. You guys can listen anytime via the archive to the show about Virgo, Leo, any of them. Kristy channels angel messages, and that's another thing during this last month. Like, the presence of the angels has gotten so much stronger. They are really here trying to help us. So if you like angels and feel particularly drawn to them, Kristy is a wonderful practitioner. Definitely have a reading with her if you're guided to that. But if you just want to hear more about the astrology, more details about this cycle, and get some angel messages, please check out Kristy's Connection to the Soul on Blog Talk. So, I think that's all the announcements. I'm back in the office because my camera did a Mercury retrograde meltdown. So it's so perfect for Virgo, right? Back with all the books. Anyways, I am Elizabeth from Elizabeth's Oracle. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate the support, and big time ahead. I wish you just lots of blessings, lots of healings. We'll talk about Jupiter more next month when the sun moves into Libra. And until then, have a really good cycle ahead.